Good morning, Rattlers. So it is time for the Penrith Reptile Expo here just outside of Sydney, Australia. The Hawkesbury Herp Society puts this awesome expo on and they flew me down to make an appearance here. So let's go in and check out this awesome expo and see who's going to win the first ever International Rattle On Awards.
I'm Dāv Kaufman and I tour the world to see how reptiles are living in the wild. And while I'm at it, checking out some of the most amazing facilities and reptile expos as well. It's all about learning, appreciation, and conservation. So come with me and join my reptile adventures.
At Rainbow Mealworms, we grow all our insects 100% naturally so that you get the freshest, most lively feeders on the market. So for all your reptile food needs, place your order today at rainbowmealworms.net.
So the awesome thing about coming to a reptile expo here in Australia is that because of Australia's import and export laws, you can't get anything out and you can't import anything in. So you have to come to an expo like this in Australia to see things that you're not going to see anywhere else in the world, like all the carpet python morphs and the blue tongue morphs and everything else that, again, you're not going to see anywhere else in the world.
Look at these Croc skins over here.
Freshwater crocodile.
Wow, that almost feels real. Look at the size of this crocodile skin. 4.8 meters. Holy buckets. So he was eating water buffalo?
He was eating water buffalo.
Oh my God.
The biggest thing he made the mistake of was eating the station manager's dog.
So this guy ate the station manager's dog.
Exactly, and that was
the end of it.
That was the end of it.
Even though these are nuisance crocodiles, the money and it's going to a good cause.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We try not to waste anything of it. So
wonderful.
The Northern Territory have really done well with their crocodile management program. Can't sing their praises enough.
Nice. Good to see. Good to see. And so now is this his skull?
Yes.
So that's the skull of this, what did you say, 4.5 meters?
4.8.
4.8 meters.
Yep. So the total length of that skull is 81 centimeters.
So you can buy Killer Skull for $12,000, or you can buy this 4.8 meter skin for $15,000. That is a very expensive crocodile skin.
Alright, so aside from doing the Rattle On Awards, I've also been asked to be one of the judges in the Penrith Reptile Expo's Best in Show Awards. They do their own award ceremony here, and it's actually a really cool thing. So this is Troy from the Hawkesbury Herp Society. He's going to show us some of the most amazing, look at this, Australian reptiles that are here that I'm going to judge for Best of Show. Now, a lot of people around the world have no idea what a
What do you call that, a bearded dragon?
Yeah, bearded dragon. They're one of the most, I guess, the most popular lizard pets. So I guess everyone,
all right, let's see
not many
there.
people know about them at all.
That's true.
We've got a scaleless one there, and we got a normal one here.
So those are the bearded dragons. Let's move on down this way here.
So we've got just an albino carpet python here.
We've got a top-end carpet python.
Yeah, he's an albino one.
Oh, a nice albino. That's a nice looking snake.
So the Darwin carpet python was the originator of the albino. One was found in the wild a couple of years ago. And, you know, that albino gene has been bred into all other carpet pythons, but a lot of breeders out there really love the pure albino Darwins, and this is one of them here.
All right, so here is my favorite python, really in the world, but of course my favorite Australian python, the black-headed python.
These guys, they're one of the most, I guess, the most popular python species that people keep.
That's right.
In Australia. They're very, very popular. People love them. I guess because of that black head, they kind of look a lapid-like. They don't have that carpet python.
That's true.
That head that carpet pythons
That's right.
have.
They have more of a pointed head than pythons generally do. Right.
I guess that's a point of interest with them.
So here in Australia, do people favor the western blackhead over the eastern, or is there really no preference?
To be honest, I'm not sure if there's a preference. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone actually really focuses on
the eastern or western. Yeah, they do in the States.
Yeah, so but there's a lot of morphs out there these days. There's like you've got your xanthics and a few different types of varieties of them.
So tomorrow after the expo is over, we're heading out west into the bush, and there's a species that in the 4 trips I've been here to Australia I have not seen in the wild, and I'm looking really forward to seeing this guy right here.
The shingleback skink. Look at that beauty.
So these guys have a lot of different common names depending on where you're from. So I've always called them shinglebacks, but other people call them bobtails.
Right, pond cone skinks. Yep.
Lizards. I think even stumpy tail lizards.
Right. I've heard that one.
I think, but yeah, I've always called them the shingleback.
Yeah. That's gorgeous. Wow.
All right, so the other judges and I have made our selection on who's going to win the Best in Show for the Penrith Reptile Expo, and Colin South is about to make the announcement on who won.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're just about to make our announcements of the Best in Show. So if you haven't seen our reptile display up there with our Best in Show animals, go have a little walk around and check them all out. First place winner was a popular favourite. It's quite common around here, the red-bellied black snake. Right? Now that animal belongs to Troy Holliday. So we'd like to thank Troy. He does a lot of hard work here as well. And we also will give him a trophy.
So the red-bellied black has won first place Best in Show at the Penrith Reptile Expo. Look at that beauty. And it comes with this awesome trophy. Look at that. That is great.
All right, Rattlers, now that we've made our selections and announced the winners for the Penrith Reptile Expo Best in Show Awards, it's time for me to walk around and see who's going to win the Penrith Reptile Expo Rattle On Awards. So I have looked around this entire expo looking to see who's going to win the best lizard for the Penrith Reptile Expo Rattle On Awards, and I have to give it to this guy. A lot of you guys may not know what this is, but this is a Boyd's Forest Dragon. And the reason I'm giving it to this lizard is because this lizard has a real soft spot in my heart, because my first trip to Australia in 2012, we went up to Cairn in the Cape York Peninsula where these guys are found. These guys have a tiny little range in the Cape York Peninsula, and I never thought that I would ever see these in the wild. But my first trip out to Australia, we found a number of these up there, and they have always been a soft spot in my heart, and they are just amazing lizards. So these are dragons, and so they're loosely related to bearded dragons. But these guys are tree dwellers up in the rainforests of Australia. And what's really interesting about them is in captivity, probably in the wild as well, they will not drink from standing water. So you have to have a waterfall in your enclosure for these guys to drink from. But these are just amazing little lizards, and this is why this is my pick for the 2019 Penrith Reptile Expo Rattle On Awards for the best lizard here. So Rattlers, I've been walking around this expo, checking out some of the really awesome snakes that are here, and it was a really difficult choice for me to figure out who's going to win the Rattle On Awards for the best snake here, but check this out. This is a snake that I've actually been acquainted with before. 2 years ago, when I was at an expo here in Sydney, I saw this snake as a youngster. And this is a one-of-a-kind carpet python. This is a paradox carpet python bred by Jared Sharp. Just look at the colors on this guy and that black peppering on that really lemon yellow body. This is one of the most amazing carpet pythons I've ever seen in the world. And again, a couple of years ago, I actually got to meet this snake as a much younger individual. And it's so awesome to come back here and see how well this snake is doing and how well it's growing. So the pairing on this snake was a caramel albino carpet python to a jag carpet python, and this beauty came out of that clutch. And that's the beauty about paradoxing, is that it's like a gift that you get when those eggs hatch, because it's so unexpected to get a paradox like this. But man, I'll tell you, this snake takes the cake for the best carpet python here, and that's why this snake is my pick for the 2019 Penrith Reptile Expo Rattle On Awards for the best snake here. Alright Rattlers, so I've said it before that here in Australia, you can't keep anything that isn't native Australian. So when it comes to picking out the Rattle On Awards for the best turtle here, check out this Macquarie turtle. This is one of the side neck turtles that's found here in Australia. And this little guy is such an interesting little guy. But this is just a baby, and they're going to look a little bit different as adults. So I'm going to head over to Arthur's place and I'm going to film an episode on all of his amazing Australian turtles. So be sure to tune in for that episode as well. But you can see why this Macquarie turtle is my pick for the 2019 Penrith Reptile Expo Rattle On Awards for the best turtle here.
I bring them to the Penrith Reptile Expo. Snakes are great. Everybody say it. Snakes are our mates. I said snakes are great. Say it again. Snakes are our mates. I said snakes are great. One big loud one, everybody. Snakes are our mates. Give yourself a big clap, guys. You did very well. Good job.
Alright Rattlers, Tyler, so that's the end of the 2019 Penrith Reptile Expo here in Sydney, Australia. This was such an amazing show. You know, I've been to expos all over Australia, from here in Sydney up to Brisbane, and I'll tell you, the Hawkesbury Herp Society, they really put on an awesome show. So if you live in Australia, you've got to check out this expo. If you live anywhere else in the world, buy a plane ticket, come to Australia and check out this expo. So I really want to thank Colin South and the Hawkesbury Herpetological Society for flying me down here and asking me to participate in this really awesome expo, and for scheduling all the really awesome things that we're about to do for the next week while I'm here in Australia. And I will be filming every minute of it, so be sure to tune in for those episodes as well. And until the next adventure from here in Australia, love the planet, feed your reptile obsession, and rattle on.